So, 2 games into the reign of Thomas Tuchel, and what have we learnt? To be honest, I don't think that much. I think this team still clearly has a long way to go. I think Thomas Tuchel certainly needs to spend more time getting to know what sort of players he's got at his disposal, what to do to get the most out of these players. Because the way I'm looking at it, I was at the game on Friday night. I've obviously watched the game at home tonight, and there's not much to hang your hat on other than that we just are a better side than Latvia and Albania. But we knew that anyway. What I'd have loved to have seen is players grabbing these 2 matches by the scruff of the neck and going, right, let's show Thomas Tuchel what I'm capable of. Let's commit a few players. Let's do some chaos. Let's create chances and score some goals. But again, it's like the ghost of Gareth Southgate is still hovering over this squad. And yet again, there are still so many sidewards and backwards passes. What I will say is the team is pushed much further up the pitch. There was not a lot of play within England's own half across either of the 2 matches. But moving where we're passing it between our centre-backs from the middle of our pitch, middle of our half, should I say, to the middle of their half, doesn't change the fact that we are still struggling to create what I would call genuine opportunities against sides that we should be beating by way more than 2-0 and 3-0. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't know. It's a weird one to talk about. It really is a weird one to talk about because obviously I'm happy that we've got the points on the board, but when you expect to win by significant margins and you don't win by as much as you would really hope, there is still a little bit of a dampener on it. And I'm sure Tuchel will spin the positives from the game because I think there were some players over the last couple of matches that have had some really good performances. I think the standouts for me, Declan Rice across both games. I think Reece James tonight. I think Morgan Rogers tonight. I think more so Harry Kane in the first game than tonight. But I'll be funny, outside of that, there's not a lot else. I mean, the defence did their job. I think Ezri Konsa did well across both games. But I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe I'm doing Lewis Skelly a disservice as well because he played well in the first game as well. But I don't know. I just expected more. I expected more from the likes of Foden in particular, from Jude Bellingham, who I know, again, had a relatively good first game, but I thought was very quiet tonight and very lucky not to get sent off tonight because he was already on a yellow card when he slide tackled that Latvian player from behind. And for me, that was a second yellow card all day long. Like, again, I know the likes of Saka are missing and Palmer are missing, Trent's missing, etc., etc. But the whole point about this group of England players at the moment is that when those players are unavailable, well, you've still got Palmer. You've still got Foden. You've still got Gibbs-White. You've still got Bowen. You've still got Morgan Rogers. You've still got Anthony Gordon, who, again, I know was injured for tonight. But I just didn't see enough to get me excited about this England team for the next little while anyway. Obviously, we're now done until the summer. We've got some international friendlies in the summer. And then, of course, we kick back into gear with the next round of World Cup qualifiers after the summer break. But, yeah, it doesn't fill me with a lot of confidence, this new Thomas Tuchel era. And I think that did sort of start with that squad selection. I know I didn't do a reaction to the squad selection, but it was basically, why is Kyle Walker still here? Why has Jordan Henderson been brought back? Why have the likes of Gibbs-White and Hudson-Odoi, who have been playing really, really well, not been picked and then only picked when Palmer got injured? How has Rashford got back into the squad after having a terrible start to the season at Manchester United, not exactly doing much for Aston Villa? And I kid you not, the 2 performances Rashford's put in for England tonight and on Friday night, he actually looked worse in those 2 matches than he did in a Manchester United shirt earlier on this season. So he shouldn't be anywhere near this England squad at the moment. And I think that is a slight early concern for me in terms of Thomas Tuchel. Is he picking players on their previous reputation rather than who's actually playing well at the moment? Because I think there's a fair few players, like I've already mentioned as well, one I didn't mention, Adam Wharton as well. Why aren't they being included in the squad when the likes of Rashford and Henderson are being brought back into the squad when, in my opinion, they've not done anywhere near enough to earn them spots back, let alone get actual minutes on the pitch? I don't know. ultimately, 6 points is 6 points. We've played 2 easy teams. We've beaten 2 easy teams, both of them at home as well. We've got harder games to come. We've got Serbia home and away. That will be the interesting bit because Serbia are playing some good stuff at the moment. They've just knocked Austria out of the Nations League. So, obviously, by the time those fixtures come around, we'll be in a completely different space. But I do think there's a bit of work to do for Tuchel. Yes, this squad is talented. Yes, Gareth Southgate, for many reasons, struggled to get a lot out of this side. But I've watched 2 England games under Thomas Tuchel. I've not seen any improvement yet. But I'll reserve my judgment for now because it's the first 2 games. He needs to see these players in proper action. Probably when they're a bit fresher at the start of next season. I can't see much coming from them in the summer, especially since half of them are either going to be going to the under-21s or to the Club World Cup. So we'll see what happens in the summer games. Hopefully, we'll start building towards that World Cup, where I do genuinely believe this group of players has a chance of winning it. But for now, slightly disappointed, but still happy with the results overall. As always, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you very soon.